Coming up next on Virginia Outdoor Life, his fastball isn't what it used to be, but Hall of Famer Catfish Hunter can still hit the mark. Whale hunting. Plus, check out the muscle on these casts. We'll take you behind the scenes of a long cast competition. And if that's not enough, we've also got a world champion duck caller. We'll share his secrets with you. Time to take a break, kick back, and enjoy Virginia Outdoor Life. Next. Hi, and how are you? Welcome to the show. This is Virginia Outdoor Life for Saturday, April 19th, along with Captain Eric Burnley. I'm Bob Matthews. As you can see, we're outside Harbor Park because the Tides have just opened up their season in the last few weeks.
Right.
And because we've got a little bit of a baseball theme for our first adventure, don't we?
Yes, we do. We went down to Ahoskie, North Carolina, the C. Pierce Shooting Preserve, and we just thought we were going for a day of hunting. We had no idea what surprises lay in store for us.
See if you can pick out the Hall of Fame pitcher we happen to go hunting with.
Attaboy, Jake.
Yeah, attaboy, Jake. Yeah, attaboy.
Yeah, get down.
I know you grew up in this area hunting and fishing. I know it's probably meant a lot to you, and you came back. I mean, you saw a lot of the world, but you still came back here.
Well, that's right. It's where all my friends are, and I wanted to come back home and farm, and plus hunt and fish like my dad always, brought us up like that, all of our kids. And I guess being right here, this is Hertford County, and I live in the town of Hertford.
Right.
And I played American Legion baseball right here in Ahoskie, and I loved it. And Mr. Pierce put this shooting preserve together, and I come up here, and I enjoy hunting here because the dogs work good, and he's got a good area.
Now you have a lot of dogs, but the two you brought today, Patty and Jake, they worked real pretty for us out there. And you spend a lot of time training those dogs, work with them?
Not as much as I should.
Right.
I had a lady one time tell me that trained some dogs for me. Said, you got to be smarter than the dog to train one. So she said, you better send them to me.
Send them to somebody.
If you ever hunt and hunt with a dog, that's your greatest companion you can have. And just to have a good dog, you only own one or two good dogs all your life. And when you get one of those, you say, well, this is one of the best ones I ever owned. Got a point up there, sir.
Where is it?
Chip, my bird. Good boy, nice dog.
We train a lot down here, and I guide some for Cedric when he needs a little help.
You just pretty much hunt the quail, or do you try to work on some of the other birds? Or?
Well, I mostly quail here, and I wild bird hunt some, but it's been getting poor.
You ready?
Whoa, Doc.
Ah, nice shot. Nice shot.
Oh, God's all
Good
coming
shot.
back to you, ain't it, Grandpa?
Come here, boy.
Nice dog, Blake.
Came back
Nice
good kid.
Good dog, good dog. Nice boy. My bird. That's a good boy, good boy. Come on. Chip got another bird right here.
Do you think we're going to see an improvement there? I know the state's spending a lot of money working on the quail program this year.
Well, hopefully if they'll plant a little edging and put some cover around the fields and stuff, and then
You agree with me, the loss of cover is the primary problem with the quail,
I
you
think
think?
that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
I found this year that in cutovers and places that you find feed, sometimes you'll find birds, but if there's no feed there, you might as well leave.
There he is, right there to the left. Bring him here.
It's been tough on them for the last several years, and the predators are rough on them too. I think the fox has made right good comeback, and they're sort of tough on the quail.
Yeah, you see her, them dogs, what they see them.
shot, Bob.
Go ahead, take it.
Come on.
Another nice shot. Come on. Suit needs a little cooling off. Not imagine.
Rain here. Everything is right here. You got the ocean, you got 3 or 4 hours you get to the mountains, you got the water, you got fishing, you got hunting, and what else can you ask for? Attaboy. Herman, attaboy, yeah. Attaboy, Jake.
Man, that was great. But
It was fantastic.
you guys had a little problem with one of Catfish's dogs.
Well, as a
didn't
matter of fact, our cameraman, Mr. Bibbo, laid his camera upon the ground, and the dog marked his territory upon it.
you? I guess that's just one of the hazards of hunting sometimes.
One of
isn't
the
it?
hazards of hunting with a video camera, yes. But, well, it was just a great time, and as you can see, Catfish Hunter hasn't lost any of that eye-to-hand coordination either. He didn't miss.
When we come back, though, time to catch up on our casting, huh?
Long casting tournament, U.S. Sports Cast, yes, we'll be back to talk about that.
It's exciting. Stay tuned. Virginia Outdoor Life rolls on from down on the waterfront. Welcome back to the show. So explain to me exactly what long casting is.
You take a rod and a reel and you throw a 4.5-ounce sinker as far as you can.
Sounds good.
That's what it is, and that's what they were doing down there in Virginia Beach a couple of weeks ago. We went down and got some footage of it, and to give you an idea, it's a pretty competitive sport, but it's not a lot of people compete in it or do it, but it's very competitive. It's a lot of fun. It's been going on since the 70s, and it's been going on in Europe even longer. So we're catching up with the Europeans, though.
We have 31 casters, 4 different classes, A, B, C, and we got 2 or 3 steps in A.
Yeah, and that gives them, that's by ability, not by tackle, right?
Exactly. That way you can come out here and you compete, and whether you've been doing it for a long time or not, doesn't matter. You just come out here and have a good time.
And how many years have you been doing this?
Since 1975, you tell me.
Yeah, it's a long time. That's a long time. I know you just backlashed, but give us an idea what kind of tackle you're using here.
Well, this is an Ambassador Ultra Mag. The only thing we've really done with this is just put a little knob on here so we can control the magnets a little bit better. Ideally, when you cast, the magnets are real close to the spool. When you finish up, you can crank them away and get better and better,
right.
and take the level wind off. And that's basically just a stock reel. You can go buy them at the store.
And then your rod is not
The
stock.
rod is a Zipflex rod. It's from England. It's an English casting rod. We use them for fishing. I personally fish this rod. It's just something that we...
But not that reel.
Not this reel.
Right. We want people to understand that what you're using for your long distance casting is a little bit different what you fish with.
Exactly. You could if I quit,
Right.
but I wouldn't because it would take it
That's
out.
right. What are we looking at for distances today? What will the top guys throw today?
The top distance today should be around 700 foot.
Over 2 football fields.
That's 100 foot is 200 is 2 ball field. We fellas out here carry 600, 700 consistently.
Mark, you came all the way down. How you doing?
All
you
right.
came all the way down from Delaware?
Yeah, from Newcastle.
All right. Now, Mark makes me feel old because he used to come to the Delaware Sport Fishing Show when he was about this tall, spend the whole day there listening to all these seminars. Now he's here with his family. I'm old. Okay, Mark, you're throwing spin equipment, right?
Yeah, I'm
And
throwing,
you've got what? Is that 12 pound on there?
Yeah,
And
12 pound and 50 pound shock leader.
And what kind of knot are you using?
I'm using a uni knot.
Uni knot. Now this is you're with the Breakaway company, right?
Yeah.
And they're putting out a line of long distance casting rods.
Yeah, this is the 13-foot model here. We got a 10-foot one piece, 12.5-foot two piece, and a 15-foot two piece. And I'm comfortable with a 13-foot one, so this is what I'm using today.
Right. I think that's a key to this type of competition is being comfortable with your tackle.
Oh yeah, last year I used a 12-foot ugly stick, and I was fishing with that the same day, and I just showed up and took 3rd place in B class.
Yeah.
So this year I'm actually prepared.
Well, you threw a long shot the first time, a little bit to the right, but it was a long shot. How far do you estimate you can throw with this when you're on?
With the wind today, I could probably get out to about 600.
600 feet. That's 2 football fields with a spinning rod.
Right.
this is the Virginia State. We have different area state championships. Then we have the nationals that we'll hold in Lewis, Delaware. That's like May 19th. And then we have teams come from all over the country, Texas, Florida, and so forth. So that's like the grand finale. Basically what we've done in the past few years, let the states take care of their own competition rather than sportcast group people going there and, babysitting per se.
Right.
So now, just like Joe's doing here, they're handling their own tournament, as long as they apply the sportcast rules and we recognize their scores, for championships.
Okay, so now, does that serve any practical purpose whatsoever?
Well, a lot of the guys have special tackle, as we showed, that they just use for that. But then a lot of the folks also use their regular beach casting tackle. They're in a different class. They can't throw quite as far. So yeah, there are times in surf fishing when you need to be able to get out there as far as you can. And if you use that pendulum cast or a modification of that, it does help you throw further. But basically, it's just competition amongst those folks. They travel the circuit. They compete against each other. There's no big money involved. It's just fun and competition among those folks, and they're having a good time with it.
Well, if they're having a good time,
That's right.
we're having a good time.
That's exactly right.
Welcome back to the show. Time for our favorite part of it. That is showing the pictures that we
That's
get
right,
sent in.
that's
And
right.
we got some great ones this week, so let's go ahead and open up the Outdoor Scrapbook. And would you like to start?
Oh, I can't think of anything I'd rather do. All right, here we have Natasha Stills, and she's taken a picture in India of India outdoor life, and it was on her last trip in the fall, and this is a wild warthog.
Another picture from Natasha's trip. 5 monkeys that just happened to be there on the road, so Natasha snapped a picture of them, and they appreciated it.
And finally, from India, a great big camel. Natasha is always on the lookout for outdoor life, no matter where she travels, and thanks to her for thinking of us on her trip.
Yes, we don't deserve this kindness.
No, we don't, but that's great. That's
Natasha,
great.
thank you all the same. Okay, this picture from the good old US of A, you know what I'm saying? This is George Dolliver of Chesapeake, 35 1/4 pound rockfish, 44 inches, caught on a stretch 25 on spinning tackle, a 20-pound test line. George was fishing aboard the Pleasure Seeker off Virginia Beach last January, and we'd like to thank George's pal, Dave Haslett, for sending in the picture. Well, all right.
All right, John Bigavi.
Sounds good to me.
All right, Virginia Beach, a 28-pound rockfish, caught off Virginia Beach, fishing aboard the Harpoon. Says they released 4 stripers over 44 inches the same day. It's 4 citation stripers right there.
That's good. That's some good fishing.
Yes, it is.
Okay, this is Ross Hickam, Chris Neerman. That's Chris's brother right next to him. Unfortunately, we never got Chris's brother's name. We're really sorry about that. If you send it in, we'll put it on the air, I promise. Richard Johnson and Lawrence Olivia, which of course brought some really cute jokes from our producer. Lots of big stripers here caught in February off Cordova fishing aboard the Harpoon. Welcome back to the show, and if you're fixing to go turkey hunting anytime soon, we got an offer you can't refuse from Primos.
That's right.
It's Turkey Caller, so show us how it works here.
I'll show you how not to do it.
Okay. That's how not to do it?
Yeah, I'm not very good at this.
It's still guaranteed to help you when you're out
Absolutely. Need a little practice and you'll be ready to go.
there. Sounds good. Well, let us pick a winner out of the shotgun shell case. Thank you, producer Mike D.
And we'll get it quick before it blows
Yeah,
away.
really. Which, the letters or Mike?
Yeah, should we use that one?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
What do we got here?
David
Spring. David Spring of Williamsburg, congratulations, you win the turkey call. Now, if you want to send us a postcard for Hot Product, well, there's the address for you. It's in care of Hot Product, Virginia Outdoor Life, WTKR News Channel 3, all that good stuff. P.O. Box 300, Norfolk, 23501-0300. Drop us a line and we will put it in the case. Now, before we get out of here, we've got one more adventure to share with you. We went down to Currituck a couple of weeks ago to meet a young man. They called, some folks down there called us up, said, you got to go down there and meet this guy. His name is Brad Privet, and what he specializes in is calling geese and calling ducks.
Yes, he does, and he does it naturally without a call.
He does, and it's really amazing if you're trying to figure out, well, just how amazing, Bob? Well, take a look. Well, what better a place to talk about duck calling and geese calling than Bell's Island, and we are here with 2 of the best at what they do, Bill and Brad Privet. Bill is the father of Brad, who is the world champion geese caller, the reigning world champion goose caller,
Junior
right?
World Goose Caller. Brad won his first Junior World competition in 1993. He started actually competing at the age of 4, and he's been after it a long time. He's won a lot of championships here in the last several years, but it wasn't an overnight thing. It was like from 4 years old on, he's been competing all over the United States.
Were you nervous the first time you entered a contest?
Yeah, I was pretty nervous. I'd never been in front of that many people before. It was a pretty big audience there. I was pretty nervous. I'd gotten several seconds and thirds and could never win it, and finally won it in '93.
We're going to put the world champion to the test here. You think you can teach me how to call at least halfway decently?
I'll try.
Okay, well, let's go and do it.
All right.
Okay, now I have to use aids, of course, when I do it, but you don't even need one of these, do you?
No.
Take us through a routine that you would do in competition.
All right.
Do that for us. And in case you were wondering exactly how good that was, just look right over here. We've called us a duck right over to the porch. What did we just hear you do?
Right. That's supposed to be imitating being in the blind, calling a flock of geese at a half a mile away. And the geese start to veer off, and you call them a little bit harder. And then they come back in, and then you set them down.
Now, since we got a duck so close, let's see if I can scare him away. You can teach me how to use this?
All right.
Okay, what do we do here?
All right, you have to, you blow into this end, and you don't
this
just,
end, not the other end.
you don't just blow on it, you kind of give it like a grunt into the call, and like a deep push from the diaphragm.
Okay, well, that's going to be good considering I'm battling the hiccups today. All right, let's try this. Or is that more like what a kazoo sounds like?
No, I don't know. It's all right. Good for the first try.
Good for the first try. Why don't you try it? Show me what it's supposed to sound like here.
All right.
Okay, so that didn't sound quite like what I did. All right, let's try it again. Yeah, that worked real good. Look at him, he's swimming away. Hey guys, thanks so much for coming out. We appreciated it. Now, if you want to learn more about turkey calling with Brad, well, then just jump on the information superhighway because he's got his own website there. Surf the net, there's the address. You can go and find out everything that he knows, or at least all the secrets he'll let you in on.
He did a great job.
He really did. I'd like to try one, but he tried to teach me, but it was a lost cause.
Yes, it was.
Absolutely. Before we get out of here, how about a fishing forecast? Speaking of lost
if the
causes?
water keeps getting warmer, we ought to have some big bluefish offshore, maybe some croakers starting to show up. Flounder fishing ought to be on the improve. Every time, the more the water warms up, the better the fishing's going to be.
Croakers are back. You can't beat it.
Can't beat it.
Hey, don't forget, next week we're going turkey hunting. That's going to be a good time, too.
Oh, man, I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, we'll see you next week. Have a good rest of the weekend. He's Eric Burnley. I'm Bob Matthews.
And you all take them easy.
Hey, boy! Hey, boy! Hey!